As a full-time eBay seller, there are a lot of items on Facebook Marketplace that I'm always hunting for to be able to flip for a profit on eBay. Now, the number one category that I'm looking for is video games and video game consoles. And that's exactly what I'm going to be hunting down in today's video. I've got this listing right here that I wanted to show you guys. It's a Sony PlayStation 1 video game lot. Now, he's offering $180 on this deal. It's been price reduced from $200. And he's got two consoles. He's got 3 controllers, 7 games, all of the cables. This is a really good listing for $180. I have just messaged him and I have secured it for $150. Now, while I'm out there, I'm going to roll the camera and show you the deal, and I'm going to also show you the questions that I'm asking these sellers just to see whether or not I can unearth any potential opportunity for more items just like this. Just because you're out there looking for an item to buy that you see a listing of doesn't mean that that's the only items that this person's trying to sell. So I'm going to ask some probing questions while I'm out there, tune into that, and then we're going to bring it back home and I'm going to show you just the reasons why I selected this listing, because the potential profit return was very good. I'm at a shopping center because that's where he's asked to meet up. He's getting a haircut. So I think he's taking the goods in with him and he's just going to hand it over in the salon. So let's park the car and go and get it. Hey mate. Yeah, well, you?
It's been in the garage, but it's been in the tub in the bag, so it's all good.
Well, 150, that's all yours.
Yeah.
No other games or anything like that at home? No other consoles?
I've got lots of stuff actually. That's why I'm sort of downgrading.
Oh, have you?
But I keep them for my son, but now he's just mad about the iPad.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but I've got, you know, the Lomax PS1 game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got that one.
Right.
I kept that because I know its value.
Yeah, it's a good one.
And then I've got so much stuff, but it's all like, I've got a PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, Xbox 360,
yeah,
Wii,
yeah,
and then I had to buy big tall boys just to put all the games in it.
Yeah, right.
And they haven't been touched for a while because the top drawer's so heavy it's dropped to the bottom drawer and we can't open it.
Is that right?
So I'm going to have to just crack the whole thing one day and...
Yeah, really go into it.
Yeah.
Well, look, if you're interested in cleaning it out, I'd be interested in buying it for sure.
Yeah.
So there you go. Awesome pickup. I have all of the items here back home now with me, and it was really interesting to see that he had quite a number of other products that I'm going to be working on with him over the next couple of days to potentially be able to go over to his place and buy even more stock. So when you're going out there and you're buying a product off somebody off Facebook Marketplace, consider it an opportunity to build a connection. This person may now be a connection for me moving forward because he seems to be a collector, and that's exactly the sort of person that I'm looking for. My rule in my best case scenario is to try and 3 times my investment worth of revenue. So if I'm buying this for $180, you've got to remember I bought it for $150. So 150 times by 3, it's $450 worth of value that I want to see out of these items to then green light the situation and go out and buy the item. So $450 is the metric that we're going to be trying to get to when we price out these items. Now, if I have a look here at my screen share, I'm going to go back into eBay and I'm going to type in, let's go into Crash Bandicoot Warped. So here you see here, we've got a best sale price of $90. Now I've priced this from high to low. I'm never gonna look at these price points and think that's how much the game's worth. I'm gonna try and get an average. So we've got a $70 price there, we've got a $50 price there, another $50 price. The good thing about this Crash Bandicoot game is it is a black label. You can see the PlayStation black label down the bottom there. That trumps the platinum version, which was silver down the bottom. You can always get a few more dollars when it's a black label. So having a look at these price points, $40, $40, and then we sink down into the $30 price ranges, and then there's more of these platinum versions going for about $25. So I'm going to estimate an average for this game here to be worth about $40. So there's our first $40 towards the 450 that we're trying to get to. The next one that caught my eye was this game right here. I can't even pronounce it, and I've actually never seen it before. It really did catch my eye in the listing because it wasn't a game I'd heard of, and that can potentially mean it's worth some money. So if I type that game into eBay here, XEV PS1. Now, I don't see any sales for this game. So the thing that I want to do here is have a look and see what people are trying to get for the game. And you can see here it seems to be quite a rare title. We've got $80 up the top there, $116, $76, $85, $90, $86. So while this game hasn't gone on to sell, we can clearly see that it is quite a rare game. So I'm going to go ahead and estimate, because it hasn't sold, I'm going to have to be a little bit less than these prices. So I'm going to account $50 as a bare minimum that I think I can get for this game, because it appears like I'm going to be the cheapest price on eBay and probably the first to go on to sell. So I'm going to go ahead and account 50 for that. So now we're up to a total of $90. The next one that I've got here is Colony Wars on the PlayStation 1, and you can see it is a black label yet again. So I'm going to go ahead and type in Colony Wars and see what we get on the PlayStation 1. We can see that there's a comp up the top there for $40, and then we don't have any other comps. So I'm just going to call that $40 as a price match for my listing. So what's that? That brings us up to $130 worth of total value. The next game that we had in this listing was Nuclear Strike. Nuclear Strike on the PlayStation 1. That game is a good one. $40, $45, $49, and $66. So I'm going to go ahead and account a middle ground figure there of about $50 for that game. So that brings us up to $180, I believe, if my maths is correct. And then I've got this one right here as well. Now, this is an interesting one, because this one is the Fantastic Four video game, which is the video game. It's got its little markings on the back and the front, but it's missing its top cover. And it's also got its original manual for the Fantastic Four game. So I've kind of got 70% of this game, but it isn't complete. So I do need to take that into consideration with my pricing. So I'm just going to type in Fantastic Four. Now I should say, with this, I'm doing searches via customized filters. So I'm locking out Australia only, highest price, and condition is used. Those three filters with the sort button of high to low allows me to get a really nice quick reference of what this item is actually worth. Oh, okay, so best offer of 122, 131, 115, 115. This is a $100 game over in America. Now, this is an Australian copy of the game. There are no sales in Australia for it. If I go in and just have a look at the competition that I'll be playing with in Australia, and I take off the sales, let's see if there's any listed in Australia. No, there's not. Oh, there is. 45, yeah, that's right. Oh, there's another one. $34 disc only. That's very similar to the one that we've got. So I'm going to go ahead and account for that. We've got a 45 and a 35 here in Australia. So let's say 35 to match that one that we're seeing, and we can play competitive to that one. So what does that bring us up to? My maths is terrible now. 180 plus 30, let's say $210. Then we've got Mass Destruction. Mass Destruction right here. Now you're probably thinking, what do you account for an individual listing? And it's $20. That's the number. $20 worth of a price is what I'm looking for. If it doesn't make $20, then I'm going to go ahead and list it up onto a bulk listing. So we can see some $29.95s, but that's listed, not sold. So if we go into the sold comps, comp it out, we're seeing a 17 and a 15. So I'm actually not going to account any value on that. That's just going to be a $4 bulk lot. And then the other one that I've got here is the PGA Tour 1998. So if I go PGA Tour PS1, PGA Tour 98, PS1, terrible. Even though we have no direct matches, the years around it don't sell for a lot of money. So I'm just going to discard that. So we've got $210. Down the bottom here on the ground, I have my two consoles. So what we want to do with that is we can actually double check to see if there's a model number on this console. I will say the console is super, super clean. It is a really clean console for a vintage console. When we pop it open there, you'll see how clean it is inside. That is amazing. This will sell really well. These consoles have got a nice model number on the back there, though, that you could do some easy research on. So this is SCPH-5502. So if I literally type in SCPH-5502, I can search that exact make and model of console. Take the solds off, take the solds on again. Okay. There's a really good sale of $200 right there. And that is exactly what we have. We have a console plus two controllers plus the cables and a memory card. So arguably you could get $200 based on that sale price right there. The one below it went for 150 plus 25, so that's 175. And then we had a 25 plus 140, only one controller on that one. So I would arguably say we've got $175 worth of value. And then I want to type in console. And I just want to find a console only because I have a second console, and you'll see here, we've got 116 with the cables, which is a good match. A little further down, 95s. Okay, there you go. 75, there's a parts only for 70, so I could definitely say about $75 for this one. Even though it's in working condition, it might be worth a little bit more here, maybe 85, maybe potentially $80 based on that. So the second console for 80, this console for 100, let's say 150, that's 230. And then we had the $210, I think, in all of the games. That brings us up to about $440, $450. So it literally, call it a $450 result, it literally works out to what we want to try and do. Now, by tripling our investment like we've done there with this purchase at $150, as somebody looking at this listing on Facebook Marketplace that is a beginner seller won't be going through the nuances of searching up those individual listings. So it's a really important step to work out exactly how much profit potential there is in an item. The next thing you want to do is you want to go and input it all into Flippedit. Now, Flippedit is our financial software that you can be using to really keep a track of your business finances and truly know how much profit you're actually making on every single item. All of the numbers that we've been talking about in this video have been revenue, but what we want to work out is an estimation of profit. So we can go ahead and we can be putting it into our death pile on Flippedit. If you guys want access to it, there is a 10% off discount using Flippedit 10 at checkout. I'm going to link that for you in the description below. There'll also be a QR code right here that you can scan if you're watching on TV. But we'll put it all into Flippedit. We'll get a good estimation of how much profit we're going to be able to make. And the way that I do that as well is I use an app called eProfit. Now, this is a really nice calculator that you can be using to determine how much profit you're making on an individual item, but you can also times it out to work out how much profit you're making on an entire haul. So what we're looking at here is a haul situation. So the way that I do that on Flippedit is I'm going to account the cost of $9 to send off every single one of these. It's about the same cost as putting it into one of those small padded mailers that you can see behind me. So we have a total of individual listings, 5 games that we're going to be selling for a total cost of $210. So 5 times 9 is 45. So in the item cost, I'm not going to put anything in there just yet. Shipping cost, I'm going to put in as $45. And then I'm going to put in $210 for those games. Now, the consoles, I think we're going to have them shipped off with my Australia Post Band 5 worth of discount. I think they're going to ship off for about $15. So for $15, I've got 2 of them. I'm going to count an additional $30, and I'm literally going to add it to my shipping cost here on eProfit. So $30 brings us up to $75 worth of shipping expense for absolutely everything here. And then from there, I'm also going to add the costs of what we think we can get this to sell for. So 150 plus 80 is an additional $230. So that brings us up to $440 worth of total expected revenue. With the shipping cost of $75, I'm going to remove the tax percentage. I'm going to promote all of these at 3% on my eBay store. And these profit figures that you're going to see here at $291, we need to add in the item cost. Now, the item cost was $150. So if we have a look here at the eProfit calculator, all of the eBay fees, all of the eBay fixed fees, and the return on investment tells us that our $150 purchase is going to make us a net true profit of $141.56 after our initial buy price, our postage, and our eBay fees have been taken out. Now, that is exactly what I do every single time before I go out and make the purchase on Facebook Marketplace. If you do it like this, like I have just shown you, you absolutely cannot lose. You could be checking for sell-through rate, you could be checking for total value of the item, and a lot of these video games are selling for upwards of $50, which is always what I talk about. And then from there, having the addition of 2 different consoles really did pump up these numbers. And a lot of people missed it because this listing was $200 marked down to $180. It allowed me to be able to negotiate down to $150 to make this deal even more worthwhile. And then it hit my key indicators of what I'm looking for. I want to be trying to triple my investment. So if you could be doing that, seeing a Facebook Marketplace listing for say $100 and then saying to yourself, I need this to sell for $300 for it to be worthwhile, you are going to have a very, very successful eBay business. And if you're tracking these numbers in things like the eProfit calculator and the Flippedit software that I've been talking about, you're going to be really fine-tuned to make some really, really good money in the future on eBay. The best part is, with this knowledge, you're going to be able to say no to so many listings that you maybe previously would have said yes to. So I hope this video has been really useful, guys. It is the way that I break down these hauls when I go out and source, and it makes me really great profit every single time because I don't buy it otherwise. I'm going to leave you with this video right here, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Remember, Flippedit, 10% off. Make sure you grab that. Link in the description. We'll see you over there for that one.